we're a general aviation airport and a spaceport. The FAA does not license spaceports. That's a gimmicky name. They license launch sites. We've been a launch site. We were actually the first inland launch site for commercial space activities, and that occurred in 2004 when the FAA approved our license. And since then, we have, I like to say, been leading the charge in the commercial space theater. So we have, currently today, there are 4 commercial space captive carry launch vehicles, and all 4 in the world reside at Mojave Air and Spaceport right now. So we have the Virgin Orbit Launcher 1747. You have the White Knight Spaceship 2. You also have the Northrop Grumman L1011 Stargazer program. And then you have the Stratolaunch aircraft, or Stratolaunch vehicle. Stratolaunch vehicle is the largest composite wingspan aircraft in the world right now. Along with that, so what else do we do here? Well, we're also a general aviation airport. We're a general aviation airport. We're heavy in the aerospace industry with scaled composites, 31st flights in 30 years. National Test Pilot School is just on the other side of the Virgin Orbit aircraft there. And that is the, well, as they like to say, and I believe too, the National Test Pilot School to the world. They host, and they're a civilian organization, but they were the first to earn their the International Civilian Test Pilot School rating, and or actually Test Pilot School National Test Pilot School rating, and they actually attained their international certification prior to the Navy Test Pilot School and the Air Force Test Pilot School. So it's kind of a big deal. Now the Navy and the Air Force obviously have those too, but it's a big deal. It costs about $1 million per student to run through the entire course. So most of the students are state sponsored in some way. They either work for a major airline or they work for a government. So we do everything here that I like to say the FAA is trying to figure out how to integrate into one airport. We support military operations, both fixed wing, rotary wing, small UAS, both. And when I say military, also you can apply this to the commercial sector too. All these operations occur at Mojave Air and Spaceport. And then you add the aircraft testing and evaluation to the commercial space test and evaluation. Add onto that, we have 19 rocket engine test sites out there as well. So we're doing everything here at Mojave Air and Spaceport, and we're slowly but surely the FAA is starting to recognize everything that we do here. So how do we do that safely? Well, we integrate all of our operations into what I like to call a seamless air operations package with FAA certified air traffic controllers. We're a non-federal contract tower, which means everything we do here we pay for ourselves. We receive very little money for the operation of the airport itself from the FAA. But for the operation of the air traffic control tower and the fire department, we receive no funding from the FAA for that. That's all out of pocket. Controllers are FAA certified controllers, but Mojave Air and Spaceport employees. Our ARF department, Aircraft Rescue Firefighting Department, is also employed by Mojave Air and Spaceport. We have a mix of full-time and part-time. We have currently 9,500 gallons of, I take that back, 8,500 gallons of our firefighting capability. Here in about 2 weeks, we'll bump that up to over 10,500, which puts us in line with FAA NFPA index standards of 10 Echo. So we can handle anything that comes in here, any class aircraft. We have 3 runways. You saw that when you flew in. Runway 1230 is our longest runway at 12,500, 200 feet wide. Then you have runway 0826 and runway 0422. Well, our main income, rents, leases, and fuels. And we are a government agency, special district, so we have limitations on how we can raise money and how we can spend our money. But as we drive through here, some of the hangars are BAE, Northrop Grumman, Scope Composites, and we'll come over here to the Virgin Orbit. We have some other companies that operate out of here that at least for the time being, prefer to be as anonymous as possible until they make it big, and they will, because they're working on exciting things. Then you'll hear about them. And, so I'll pull around and get out a little bit. We can't get too close to the aircraft. It's not mine to give you the authorization. But on the tour, hopefully you set everything up. I'll do my best to arrange a tour for you, and hopefully Kelly will be available.
Yeah, Miss Kelly is a big inspiration to us.
So again, the object of the captive carry in this particular case is it's to go up to about, let's say 40,000 feet. Carry the launch vehicle under. This is the carry vehicle. Carry the launch vehicle underneath its wing, and then the two will separate within the appropriate range, or at the appropriate place, and aircraft will come back. Rocket, in this case, the launch vehicle would be a rocket. Rocket goes up into where it's supposed to. Its flight follows its flight path, and everything works out fine. The graveyard. So that is a privately owned company. Again, I told you there are main sources of income are rents, leases, and fuels. Well, we happen to own the land, but we lease it to commercial aircraft services. So the aircraft, some of the aircraft come in, they'll dismantle them, they'll scrap them. He tries to buy the aircraft when the price of metal is low, and obviously wants to sell when the price of metal is high. Some of the parts do go back into circulation, and that is regulated by the FAA, so they do come out here and they do inspect. So I told you about the 4 captive carry vehicles operating in the world today. You'll be able to see 2 of them. 3 of them are one is hangared, and the other one is currently at Spaceport America. This is the Northrop Grumman L-1011, and you can see here that the payload is carried under the belly. So typically what happens is a customer buys space on a rocket. Who overall pays for the rocket, I don't know. I couldn't tell you that. So we're talking satellites for the most part is right now the soup du jour, so to speak. So CubeSats buy space on a rocket. Companies buy space on the actual rocket, the rocket that delivers the payload. In the near future, they are moving the commercial venture White Knight Spaceship 2 to New Mexico's Spaceport America. The test and evaluation, the building of the aircraft of subsequent aircrafts will still happen here. But when they're ready and they're all checked out, they have their licensing, their certifications, those 2 will move to Spaceport America. Mojave traffic ops vehicle traveling northbound on taxiway Alpha for taxiway Charlie.